Wheels up, baby.
It's all dudes today.
It is all dudes.
No muse. So just a lot of dude bro sweat going on in here. I like it. Like the musk. The scent.
The musk?
Yeah. Of all dudes. Yeah, man. It's like a steamy sauna with Axe body spray.
So I was chatting to my son the other day. There's certain scents that I like eau de toilettes that I use and I like. And he was giving me like the ones that are supposed to be unisex.
So when you say eau de toilettes, you mean cologne.
But
right?
unisex. Cologne,
okay.
Cologne perfume.
So
Yeah.
you didn't use the word
unisex.
cologne because you want to make it clear that the stuff you wear, both men and women wear it.
No, but the stuff that I wear, it says it's a eau de toilette versus eau de perfume. It's not a perfume. It's a and the one that I like, he says is more musky because it's certainly not one that could be unisex. And the reason why we're talking about it was that I don't like Le Labo. I think it's more feminine than it is masculine. And he was saying it because it doesn't have those musky tones in them. So you right now this morning there's only men in here, and you're using the term that it's musky in here. Mm-hmm. That's because when it's all men. Do you like? You said you like Le Labo, so you obviously like that. You're comfortable with the feminine tones.
So it's not.
Don't take the bait, man.
I actually wear Old Spice. So
do you?
Fuck you.
Do you really?
You don't wear Old Spice.
150%.
You mean like every day?
Every day I squirt Old Spice on. Every single day.
Okay. Now I thought you were more kind of a metro. And
no, so the one I think it's Le Labo, and I'm not even sure. So the Edition has cologne, and I love that cologne, but I only have a very small tester of it. And the last 2 times I went to the Edition, I tried to get some, and they looked at me like I was out of my fucking mind. I was like, "Look, here it is. I have it in my hand," and they're like, "I don't know. We've never sold anything like that." I'm like, "Okay, never mind." So I do love that, but I save that because I don't have much. But I wear Old Spice, my friend. Legit, I get it online in a glass container like my grandfather had, and I wear fucking Old Spice every day.
Okay, you won't find me dead with Old Spice.
Yeah, so what was that about feminine tones? There's nothing more masculine on this fucking earth
but
than
the scents
Old
that I
Spice.
like are typically fully masculine tones.
You know why? You know what the main scent profile of men's, like the muskier masculine colognes is? It's Fecal.
Oh, is it?
Little
Google
doo-doo in there?
Fecal. Yeah, Fecal's a very important tone to men's cologne. Yeah.
That's interesting. I would have thought that I've got a phobia or a real nose for anything that has a
So
hint
you're just
of
smearing
fecal.
shit all over yourself is what you're doing.
I'm definitely not. But so I'm gonna have to investigate that and report back.
Yeah.
It's whale poop. That's the musky comes
See?
from like a
The whale poop.
Yeah, and whale shit it goes straight in the water. I mean, it's not like a big pile of dog
So
shit.
I like the musk and I like the citrusy kind of freshness. So it's a combination of those two is what my
I
preference
don't
is.
like that. I like Old Spice. Honestly, the only thing about Old Spice is that it's cheap, so it does not last very long. But I love the smell.
You mean
I
the,
have-
the wearing time?
Yeah,
where
there's
it wears
a
off
whole
quick?
fucking thing about cologne. So and I've read about this before, but basically you've got all the tonal features. The one that I said is most important to masculine is Fecal, but when you get into it's the consistency as to how long it stays on you as well. And you don't want something that's fucking insane, like that's on you for 3 days. That's more oily and thick. Old Spice is thinner. So it goes on and it lasts like 30, 45 minutes. If I'm wearing an undershirt, I'll spray it on the undershirt because it will last a little bit longer. But all I'm looking for anyway is just a little bit of really all I'm looking for is to cover up the smell of sweat because it's set 10,000 fucking degrees outside and I know I just smell like sweat.
I've been using a little cologne lately.
Oh yeah? What are you using?
The company's called Sand and Stone or Salt and Stone. They
Okay.
make a bunch of soap, lotion.
Okay.
I suppose it's more of a body spray than like a straight up cologne. Definitely short wear time,
Yeah.
but I'm doing it, I suppose. I've been fucking around with scents and scent signaling. So, like, as an example, when I get up in the wee hours to work, I light up a cold oil diffuser with cedar wood in it.
Okay.
Specifically to say this is work time.
Yeah.
And supposedly your brain goes into a specific mode based off the scent, and you focus and can accomplish more. So I've been using the spray not necessarily to smell good to other people, which I suppose that's the byproduct, but it's more for me and saying like I'm doing this to, you know, as a little ritual for the day to say like I am smelling good. I am doing this extra thing for I guess a little more confidence or something. But I actually have found, so I probably spray it because it wears quick, maybe like 2 or 3 times during the day. I fucking spray it on right before I go to bed because I like the smell of it. Like not a shit ton, just
you like
just a little bit.
It makes you feel comfortable.
And I enjoy it. Like the smell of it is like I'm going to sleep.
Old Spice, when you say signaling, I was thinking of something else. Old Spice came from, my grandfather wore it and I liked it, but I had this referee that I've talked about before, or umpire actually, that I've talked about before, named Blind Fred. And he used to be he's this old man who was a volunteer umpire at baseball games and little leagues, and I'd always bullshit with him, and he'd always tell me the wildest shit. Like, I've probably said this before, but he said, the point in your life when you start. I was 13, okay, and he told me, he said, the point where you are starting to get old because it feels as good to take a piss as it does to have sex. He told me that, and I've always thought about that. And sometimes I take a piss and I'm like, you're approaching? Damn, I'm getting old, man, because that fucking felt good.
You're enjoying that piss.
The other thing he told me was, he goes, listen, girls want, they'll never admit it, but they want somebody exactly like their dad. They want to be with their dad, which is weird, but that's the truth. They want to be with their dad. So I always was like, I'm going to smell like I want to, like, just this subconscious, if they waft Old Spice, they're like, oh shit. And then it's like changes. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I always was using it to signal. I'm trying to subconsciously get girls who want to have sex with their fathers to look at me, I guess.
I wonder in your scenario, I mean, like, so obviously the memory is deeply embedded. I mean, I wonder if you could measurably understand psychologically if the scent is almost more for you.
Might be.
Like knowing that you're
feel
doing
confident.
that.
Yeah.
And then to therefore like carry out, which interesting.
It probably does nothing.
What I want to
them.
dive into is confidence versus delusion. And I know that we've hit on some of the stuff that I'm working on a lot when we've recorded in the past, but I really want to dial in because the last 2 weeks I've been mulling around this concept. The easiest way to start this out or describing it is I'm imagining success and or achieving a goal and what it takes to do that efficiently, quickly, and overly successfully.
I want to get this before it gets warm. I don't want to interrupt you.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
The easy real world example is a musician, a famous musician, a famous actor, a famous athlete. At least, and I really can't, I've been trying to think of like somebody specific that just lays it out, but somebody that says from the beginning, I'm the best. I know I'm the best. And there is no failure which is partial bullshit, but that idea of projecting that image of success, is that confidence or delusional? And if it is delusional, is that okay to tell yourself, constantly like, I'm going to win. I'm going to get this. I'm going to achieve. Do you see where I'm going with the closest thing I think is like maybe like Michael Jordan, who's just got like in the documentary oozes confidence and was on a path to success from signing, what was it, like the
Nike deal?
the Nike deal, like in the beginning, knowing that like, hey, we want.
Yeah, but in the true beginning, he had difficulties when he was in college.
That's what I ran this past my dad the other day, and he's like, obviously up to a point, but there is that one juncture where you kick it into overdrive, and is that amount of.
Well, if you automatically think that you're the greatest, is that going to hinder your?
That's what I want to know.
Is that going to? I think that hinders your opportunity to learn. Like, if you really think you're the greatest, because you're always making the decision of, am I doing this well enough? Is this new method or this new practice or this new method, like way of shooting the ball, is that a better way, or is the way that I'm already doing it better? I'm gonna think of it in like jury selection, which I'm like one of 3 people who do it in the country, and to the extent that I do it, and I'm always like, do I need to go down this other path that they're saying, or do I stick to my guns and know what I'm doing? If I automatically just assumed I'm the greatest, I might drive the fucking thing off. I might drive the van off the cliff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to be open to learn from other people who are better at different aspects than I am. So I don't know about that, because
it's interesting to hear you say that, because I feel outsider perspective specifically on you that you project kind of virtual infallibility. You say obviously failure has to happen to move along, but the way that you carry yourself definitely
right. I love that shit.
Like you make yourself your own authority, whether I believe it or not.
I'm trying to
you
learn
make yourself
that.
an authority constantly.
I've been trying to learn that the way that I do it. I've really tried to pick it up from people like what I envisioned Michael Jordan was doing. I think Michael Jordan is like cocky and acts infallible and perfect in front of everybody, and that's how he projects. But I think deep down inside, that motherfucker's always watching and always trying to figure out what he can do better. Every minute of every day, seeing if somebody's doing something better than he is at anything. At golf, baseball when he played it, business now, I guess, that he's older. But I don't think he's ever... If you asked him, I don't think he'd think he's perfect or that he's the greatest. I think he's always watching, and he's projecting that, and I project it. I project it honestly because it does get people leave you the fuck alone sometimes. Like a person who may not be as confident backs off when somebody's projecting the way that I do.
Just to be honest, I think in some scenarios, other people just... It's not that they're intimidated or impressed, it's that they just don't even want to fuck around with somebody that says, I know how it is and this is the way it is. They're like, yeah,
I agree.
Probably not, and I'm not even going to engage.
I agree. But and I think that that's one of the downsides to thinking that you're the greatest or you're perfect. If you really believe that, you're not. Like, that's the problem. I don't think anybody is. You should always be trying to learn. You should always be watching the people who do things better than you do.
Well, I think that a lot of I just think about Tiger Woods, for example, right? He's had...
He's so good at taking drugs, though, man. He's so good at it. Like,
well,
and,
I think when you think
driving.
about when Tiger started off, he was an exceptional person. He had to come across because he was breaking a lot of barriers in that very exclusive sport, right? And there was a perception as to whether he was good or not. So he had to convince himself. And I think that anyone in sport that's exceptional, that's performing at a certain level, and even in jury selection, if you have any doubt in your mind about your ability, it impacts your ability to do the work that you're doing.
I disagree, but wow, you just teed up a great show, man.
So you're reading a situation to the best of your ability, and I think that people in any walk of life, in order for you to be able to execute at the best level. However, the reason why I use Tiger, for example, is that he, at a point, even though he was winning the Masters and he won the majors and everything, he still decided to change his swing. When the rest of the world thought that he had the perfect swing, he felt he could do better. So even though he may have been very arrogant, he was probably one of the most unpopular guys in the change room, he felt he could do better. So even though he was one of the greatest, he, on his own, despite all the confidence levels, he changed. And he changed his swing. And, we can debate whether it was good or bad. So I do think there's a very fine line there.
Wait, the swing...
Change his golf swing.
And don't switch up Tiger Woods.
It was a good move or a bad... You said it was debatable whether it was a good move?
I don't know whether it was good or bad, but I'm saying
Did he get better scores? I don't know much about this. Did he
maybe
get better
he
scores
needed to
after?
with the back injuries
No,
and all of those
he got
things.
older. So Tiger Woods, when he was a young man, had this stretch of just he was unstoppable, and a stretch that may not ever be fucking matched. But you get older, and he had to develop methods to get around that and still be great, and that's when he changed his swing. What I'm saying is Tiger Woods is the perfect example of the fucking opposite point than what you're trying to make PR. Tiger Woods did view himself as the greatest that ever fucking lived. Yeah. He thought he was a fucking god. And what happened with that was that the external pressures of him trying to always be this infallible god led to a situation where he was fucking drinking way too much for what he was doing as a career, where he refused to face the fact that he was unhappy in his marriage, and he fucked servers at Perkins and fucking that I know, one of them I know, and got a settlement from him. Like these are mistakes that he made that his career was never the fucking same. Because it dented his perfect fucking idea of himself.
But the point that I'm making around confidence, though, is that people in all walks of life have to wake up every day, fight the demons that they're going to face in the day, be as confident as you can, sometimes with an imposter syndrome, get out there and do your shit, right? In a confident way. However, my view is that there's a fine line between being confident and being admired. And I would say delusional maybe
he is an example of the delusional example.
But I would say
he was saying.
Yeah, but my opposite of the level of confidence is delusional is saying that you're actually not good at what you're doing. You're making yourself out to be.
No, it's not. No, that's not the definition of delusion. And that's not what he was saying.
My opposite of that, though, of arrogance is actually of confidence is arrogance, where you come across, you may be good at what you do, right? But you say it in a way that makes you very unpopular. So my sense is that I admire those that are really good and come across as being very confident in what they do. But I do think there's a fine line when you become super arrogant about how good you are about what you do.
Do you think you need arrogance? I mean, to a certain extent.
I think arrogance is good.
Top level.
Yeah, I think arrogance is good.
But measured like an artistic amount.
Exactly.
I mean, of course you would, though. That's your personality, PR. I mean, we're talking about, you brought up an example that to you shines as a beacon of how arrogance and straight up delusion created this great life and great sporting track for Tiger Woods. I think Tiger Woods is a perfect example of the fucking opposite. That he had a delusional idea of himself, and that idea, because he felt the need to keep this delusion in his mind going, created his inability to face who he actually was, which resulted in him making huge mistakes that then cracked the veneer that he had created, and he was never the same player again.
I think
he had one revenge Masters, which, I'm not sitting here arguing that Tiger Woods is not fucking like the greatest golfer I've ever seen, for sure. What I'm saying is that, to me, there was this clear point that if he could have dealt with the fact that he's not some infallible god, that he didn't want to be with his wife, that he wanted to do other shit, if he could have dealt with that, I think his career could have been even better. But it got derailed by the repression of his actual fucking who he is.
I think he's one of the few exceptional, let's call him a leader, that was able to apologize. I don't think many people at the level that he operates at, and he's done it several
You
times.
think he was able to apologize?
So he's done it several times. People that are in that high level, high profile, that are embarrassed
You're fucking
at a
delusional
public level,
is what's going on.
they come
Yeah.
across, and he says, with his mom standing next to him, I made a mistake. I fucked up.
I don't know. Like, I think that's the one thing that I might have absorbed was the apology, and I don't feel like it was. I think he did it for the world and for
Of
media,
course.
and it wasn't like a true.
He's
hey,
still
I'm
a
really
disaster. He
sorry."
wasn't actually sorry. He's still repressing the same shit. And he just flipped a car in the middle of the day while he's on a bunch of drugs. We're talking about a guy worth over $1 billion. You know, it really wouldn't be that hard to have a driver. You know why he doesn't have a driver? Because a driver means that you're not fucking perfect. He thinks in his mind that he can do the drugs and he can still drive. He thinks in his mind that he can do whatever the fuck he wants because he's infallible. That is delusion.
I want to take this the next level deeper, which is truly what I'm working on, is integrating who I am inside with who I want to be on the outside. The caveat is that through my recent experiences and stripping away of some of this stuff, I'm realizing who I projected that I quote unquote wanted to be isn't accurate with what I really want to be. Is that so?
So tell me a little bit more.
So there's a little alter ego, which is one of the topics that we've jumped into previously a bunch. And I think I accidentally projected into the wrong alter ego, thinking that that's what I wanted to be, this, that, and the other. But now I'm realizing through stripping away, that's not who I wanted to be. And I'm trying to realign who I am on the outside with what I truly am inwards.
Okay.
So on the outside, you currently are, on the outside, I think, very disciplined. You know, you kind of got your shit together. You're overly organized. You're probably to the extreme degree. That's what you are. And my sense is that that's what you're projecting, and that's your alter ego. Is that do you have a separation now?
Because
I would say in your previous life you probably did have an alter ego.
Right now I feel extremely happy and satisfied with, I think, what you're perceiving. And I do think that for whatever reason, I wouldn't necessarily choose it for myself, like the routine and the discipline and the scheduling, but that's what makes me happy. And in a previous iteration, there really was not much of that discipline, routine, calendar events, and I think that manifested through weight gain and depression that I wasn't aligned with, because I thought that I wanted to have an extremely large group of people hanging out and partying and to be in control of events and gatherings that felt good for little glimpses, little windows, but inside I was extremely unhappy. Now that I've stripped away and realigned, I'm searching for. So I think that there's always a trajectory. You don't really stay the same person at any given moment. You're constantly absorbing data, a new experience. You see something you like, and then you realign with moving forward and obtaining that or achieving something. And I am, now that everything is, I feel, stripped away, focusing on future accomplishments that I'll be happy when I get there. And I'm not really sure what, with some of the newfound information that I have, what that really looks like. And I'm trying to hone and focus mental energy into like what's next.
I think the way that I'm picturing that you project and that you think in your head, I always think along the lines of like movie clips in my brain. That's how my brain kind of operates.
Like a John Cusack movie.
Yeah, or there was this show called Dream On on HBO many years ago.
Yeah.
And it was about a middle-aged man who just his wife left him, but they were still like friends. And it's him going through life, and he's constantly applying movie clips that he saw when he was a kid to whatever's going on. And for you,
Is it Cable Guy?
Trevor, no,
I'm kidding.
I wish it was. It's actually a little bit more. So to me, the film The Matrix, at the end of The Matrix, Neo has spent the entire movie trying to figure out who he is and try to get to that point. And then at the end, when he sees it and he goes into Agent Smith and explodes and he flexes and the whole world flexes around him and all of a sudden he's at one.
Yeah.
That's where I think that you're like going through, like that you've done all this bullshit and you're starting to like center yourself and know what it is that you want, what it is that makes you happy. And that's pretty rad, man, to be able, if you can ever truly say that you know yourself and know what makes you happy, I think those are very few and far between, and I think those people are really lucky.
Well, I'm working on it. I don't really know if this is appropriate to bring up, but it could be fun. I'm starting a mask collection. I think that I want a wall in my office of masks because I feel like I've been studying that for quite some time. What mask you wear with different people, and a lot of that has to do with ego, manipulation, being opportunistic, and I've really immersed myself in like what my masks are and trying to catch myself at naturally dumping into that unintegrated space that I'm attempting to slough and really always be my true self.
I've thought about that in depth. I've thought about the idea, which is a truth, of wearing masks and they change depending on your situation. And truthfully, what I've always come to is that without the mask, it's fucking scary and it's dark.
So you always wearing a mask?
I think we all are. I think
inevitably, no matter how hard I've tried to
there's no
line it
way
up,
around
there is an absolute fucking mask at all times.
Yeah. Even, dude, when you're by yourself, when you're looking at the mirror by yourself, there's a fucking mask.
Yeah.
When you're in a car by yourself for 3 hours with nothing but your thoughts, you're wearing a fucking mask. Every minute of every day.
I got really deep into it like less than a week ago, and it fucking creeped me out, man.
And if you really think about it, if you really try to take it away and see what you are underneath it, all I've ever seen is fucking not good.
Huh.
Scary. Well, I'd say that I don't see the not good side. I certainly wear a mask every day.
Your mask wears a mask, PR.
So here's the thing with me. If I think about my real personality, is I like being with people that I'm very comfortable with. So I'm very selective as to the group of people that I kind of let my guard down, and I'm pretty much in only that scenario I'm pretty much myself. But deep down, I actually am not somebody who's the most sociable person and the one that enjoys a party and the one that wants to kind of, enjoy a lot of people.
You could have fooled me.
And that's the thing. That's why I feel I almost am with my alter ego almost most of the day.
You're explaining right now. I said your mask wears a mask, and you're explaining that your mask wears a mask right now.
No, my normal self is when I'm with people that I'd say I trust. People that are, and that's me. That's no mask. That's just me, right? But in every other situation, which almost is when I kind of get out of my car in the mornings when I'm at work, the mask comes on. The minute I walk in through that door, I start to be that other person, the one that kind of gonna tolerate a lot of bullshit. I'm all day I'm being told, do this, do that. I'm typically somebody who doesn't like to be told to do anything. I typically like to give instructions myself. But
so you're on the sadist part of it.
I'm the one that all day I've got to tolerate the fact that I'm now going to be issued. Can you do this, do that, and I do it with pleasure because it's what I do. And a lot of people find that to be very reassuring that they have me to be able to call on to just do whatever the fuck they want me to do. For example, Trevor and I have been very active on Hannibal Square. Honestly, the real me wouldn't do the shit that I'm doing, to be honest, right? I wouldn't be doing it. What the fuck am I doing? And my wife very often reassured, well, what the fuck are you doing? doing this shit, going around, talking to the merchants about, the activities, trying to sell them the idea of the activities because you're getting nothing out of it, right? And you've asked me, Trevor, a few times.
Hold on, because that is incorrect. You just said on the microphone that you're getting nothing out of. You said the quote you just said is I'm getting nothing out of it. What you mean, I guess, is you're getting nothing financial out of it. You telling me that your involvement in Hannibal Square, you're getting nothing.
Yeah. So there's what I'm saying is that
I get financial success.
So I'm saying, there's no direct link to my business and the stuff that I'm doing.
I would like to argue that
you're out of your fucking mind.
If
you didn't have this event, I can tell you a direct, if you didn't have this event and you and I hadn't became friends, you wouldn't have my fucking policy.
Yeah, I think that it's not a direct money in your pocket, but without a doubt, you're the godfather of Hannibal Square. People know that.
That's dangerous fucking thinking, bro.
Throwing the parties are part of that, and then you get business from that.
That's been the success story of my law firm, is that I do 90% of my fucking day is shit that I'm never going to make $1 off of. I'm sending letters to HOAs about fences. I'm fucking going to traffic hearings for somebody's daughter who got a traffic ticket. I'm never going to see a fucking dime from this shit. But every once in a while, one of those fuckers refers me a car accident case and it pays for all of it.
No, I'm doing it with all I'm saying is that I'm doing a lot of these things. If it was just me without my mask on, I wouldn't do it.
I'm saying that you just said a lot about yourself and your fucking mask that's wearing a mask when you said I get nothing out of it.
Well, the reason I'm
technically speaking, bro. Let's back up a second. Let's sit on the couch.
Can I qualify not getting anything out of it?
You can now qualify it all you want. That's not what you said before.
No, this is what I'm being told. People say to me, you are getting nothing out of it, and I'm saying
that's not what you just said.
So no. So all I'm saying is that when I say something, it's being driven by that alter ego that I'm putting in place. I understand though that I get a certain amount of good energy out of having a successful community.
But I'm making the point that you didn't qualify it when you first said it. You said that you were having a discussion with your wife where you conceded that you get nothing out of it.
No, I didn't concede. She just said to me, why you do this? Because she knows my real personality, the one without the mask. Right? She knows that I'm not, I would ordinarily not be going around trying to convince people why they need to be part of this community.
I think that's sad. I think that that doesn't jive with my idea of your personality. I think that's sad.
Well, my personality, Nick, is that if you don't want to do something, then that's fine. Don't do it. Right? That would be my personality. But
I don't want to fucking clean the outside of my house. I don't want to do the laundry.
Yeah,
I have to fucking do it to make the rest of my life be cool. You do this shit. You don't do it for the enjoyment of pulling your tables out and setting up the wine. You do it because during those 4 hours that we're doing the hop, you're going to have little tiny points of moments where you're talking to somebody and you're actually enjoying yourself.
But I do feel that is a mask that I'm putting on. You know that's not my personality, right? I would, honestly, that is not who I am. I'm putting on, that's my alter ego that I'm saying that I actually come to work every day and I'm there having to deal with an alter ego, because when I get in my car, I'm like, fuck it. I'm so fucking happy to be getting out of here now. Right?
I mean, that's
that
a
is
natural
that
response.
is that is
Well, why? I guess not. I'm not questioning. Like, why do you do it?
Yeah, I'm interested.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
The reason why I do it is because I believe that there's value
You want
for all of
business
us.
and money.
No. It's got nothing to do with business and money. It's absolutely not. Because a lot of the things that I'm doing,
I meant get in the car and come to work and deal with people on the phone.
that's it. Yeah.
Because you need to have, like, in our culture, it's necessary to have a job and make money. So you're quantifying your mask and alter ego.
True, but I also think that this is, in order for me to be the best at what I'm doing, those are the kind of things I need to do in order to be really good with the work that I've chosen to do. People expect to phone me up and say, hey, listen, so Nick, for example, he's a client, right? And his credit card had changed. But I knew I had put in my calendar a month in advance.
You know, since then, I lost my Amex. I lose my credit card so much.
So he and that's what I do with all my clients, right? So
Fucking
he's a friend, but I had put in my calendar that as to when I needed to call him.
No shit.
Right? And I sent him a text and I said, hey, it's coming up for thing. We're going to do this. And he was like, I'm pretty sure you were like surprised. What the fuck? This guy's actually saying this to me. But he hadn't updated his card details because he had, lost his card. Or
I was just like, I knew what was coming because I have to update my shit with everybody because I lose my credit cards constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that's what I do with.
Well, let me
all our
ask you
clients.
something along those lines. Why are you doing this?
Yeah, that's what I'm.
The podcast?
Yeah.
Totally out of character as well. I don't know. I think it is trying to find who I am in order for me to do this, because this is not something that
That's deep, bro.
I would naturally do. Honestly, this is completely out of character. Me sitting behind a microphone and kind of riffing. Not my character. So this here is alter ego.
I do love about this show that every once in a while, PR really says some fucking deep,
that was pretty
deep fucking
that was
nugget
pretty
comes out.
legit
Like
and
it's
honest,
not,
man.
yeah. Like you say some really deep personal shit every once in a while, and me and Trevor like look at each other. We're like, oh my god! Like the fact that you would just come out and say some serious deep shit is rad. It's awesome. I think that you do equate. I think you equate what is a successful thing with does it bring me financial success? But I think, and that I started by saying, I think your mask wears a mask. I think the true you is the person you're saying that you're not. I think you wear this mask that then wears this mask saying that it's not. I think deep down inside, you're doing this because you fucking like it. I think you enjoy it. I think you are doing the hop. I see your fucking face out there. I think you're doing that because you like it. I think you like talking to people about their life and getting to know about them.
Interesting. That means I'm doing it really well. Things that I don't like.
I think if you feel as though you're lost and you're trying to figure out who you are, I think you need to start thinking maybe everything I think about myself that you just explained is fucking the opposite. Right? If you're asking me.
So if you think about it, right, I typically, like when I befriended Trevor, for example, completely out of character. Normally, I wouldn't reach out to people. You're
qualifying it, and my point is, I don't think it's out of your character. I think that is your fucking character. I think you don't even know the fucking mask. You keep saying getting to know Trevor and getting to know me is not in your nature. I got to tell you, I don't think I would have been friends with you if it wasn't in your nature to be the way that you are. I can fucking smell it when somebody's not really into it. You can see you walking around at the hop. That is not a fucking mask you're wearing, bro. That is who you are. I think you like it. I think it has brought you great success.
I think I need to have a word with my wife about who I am. She doesn't know who the fuck I am.
I don't know if any of us know who we are.
I have no fucking clue. I'm not casting judgment or trying to be some guru here. I've spent my entire life trying to learn little bits about myself.
I know that so here's the thing. If I had to give you like who I am, who I think I am, I'd say that I'm somebody who's got a who's very opinionated, who likes having his own way, who tries very little to do many things outside of my comfort zone, And I take a long time to get to know people. Once they come into my circle, which is very limited, then I really open up to them, and I would say crazy shit, right? Other than that, I would be very circumspect in everything I say.
To me, you're the opposite of all of that. Like I think you are at home being around other people. I think you thrive on finding out about other people. I think you give people at first the benefit of the doubt, and they have to lose the respect from you. That's what I pick up on.
And I think naturally, I like that I give people the benefit of the doubt. I mean, in reality, I'm somebody who judges people in my real world without the mask, that I think I without the mask, is I judge people very harshly for no reason. And I do that all the time. But sincerely, though, when I have my mask on, I'm not judging. I'm just wanting people to just, be the way they are.
I do think that you probably do like judge people the way that you are saying that you do. I just think that you don't care about the end judgment. I think you make a judgment about somebody, but
I don't care.
I also, though, have seen you thrive in getting to know somebody regardless of whatever the outcome of that judgment is. I've seen it with me. I'm a fucking ass. Like I'm tough to get along with, and me and you got along almost instantaneously.
No, it took us a while. I'd say that you would be an example of that.
It took a minute for me. It did not take a minute for you.
Well, I mean, you used to come and hang out with us. It would be typically Trevor and I. We would be at the most times it would be at the tavern, Park Avenue Tavern.
You were infinitely kind to me.
Yes.
You asked me questions. You actually cared. And there's only two fucking reasons that you'd be doing that. Either A, it's this link to financial that you're like, oh, he's about to be in leadership. He's on Park Avenue. This is somebody who could be beneficial to my future, which I do not think that is what it was. I think it was that you actually, even though I was an ass, enjoyed what I have to contribute. That is not some mask you're wearing, PR. I think that's who you are.
You guys are cute. On a side note, both of you in the beginning at some point took me aside and said, I wonder if the other person likes me.
Yeah, I did.
Both of you.
I did. I asked you.
You guys were.
Yeah, because I thought Nick fucking.
You guys were sniffing around.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is this guy's?
Well, I think that's cute. I think that shows not necessarily insecurity, but like vulnerability on caring if the other
it was
received the other well.
The only reason why I was saying that is because I found that I was in situations very often, because you were the one calling the groups together, and Nick and I were constantly in a similar group, and I wasn't sure whether he thought I was an ass or whether he wanted
during
me.
that, what I can tell you one thing now that I've actually never told you. During that time period, you said something to somebody that really was one of the better compliments I've ever gotten, and you don't even fucking probably remember it.
Are you gonna tell us the story?
No.
Oh
no, I'm not.
I'm hanging, man.
I keep hanging, bro. Hanging tough. New Kids on the Block style.
Hanging,
well,
baby.
I can tell you that I very, very seldom compliment somebody. So if it was a compliment,
it was not a compliment. That's my point. Compliments mean fucking really nothing to me. I don't need smoke blowing up my skirt. But you said something about me to somebody else, and I heard what it was, and to me, it's the biggest compliment that I could possibly get. So I think about that thing that you said many times, and I still strive to
live up to it. My wife said to me the other day, we bumped into each other. She hasn't seen Nick for probably 18 months.
I thought you said you're bumping into your wife for the first time in a while.
So,
well, we're going to talk about this in Nuggets.
Yeah, we're talking
about,
no, I'm just going to say, because he's looking good. I argued with her that he's not looking good.
Yeah, right.
But she said to me when he walked away that, wow, Nick is looking really good. He looks like he's 35.
There you go.
It's
baby.
all that running he's been doing.
It's true.
And
running is great, man. It really has. It's so much discipline. It's made.
Are you aware that you're looking so young, though?
Well, I think it's a combination of the running. I do think that as long as a man has a full head of hair, you look way younger than you are. So it's the hair, but the NAD plus shots and the Sisley facial regimen that I use, combined with the running, and because of the running, cutting back on the partying.
Are you trying to look younger? Is that kind of the end?
No, I don't need
objective?
to. I'm not trying to look younger. I'm trying to look good. So I'm never like, oh man, I need to look like I'm fucking 23. I'm like, this is what I've got. I want it to look as good as
Is any
it possibly
Botox
can.
on there?
No, zero. I've never had Botox. Fuck no. I'd tell you. I mean, I've told you guys that I'm injecting NAD plus into myself every 3 times a week. I would tell you, and I'm not against it. I will tell you, there may come a point where I'm like, shit, this fucking line right here, I don't like it, and get it. But I've also read many, many times and been told that once you start, you have to do it forever, or it comes back
And
worse.
then you start noticing other lines, and then other lines.
Yeah.
You know,
So-
it's never just the line on the forehead.
What I'm telling you is it's not a non-starter for me, but it's something that luckily I don't need yet. I do use a ton of facial stuff, and then also 70 fucking sun. I do think all you can ever do is slow the progression. You can never stop the aging process, but you can slow it down. Like Father Time is undefeated, but you don't have to go out without a fight. So I will wear 70. I will do whatever the fucking rules say. Whatever anybody says is the newest shit. I'll try it. But yeah, when it comes to something that means that you have to do it now forever, it's gonna have to be pretty bad for me to do it. Like any of the fucking face work shit like that people do. I mean, that's another topic I have that we could totally talk about. I have this whole thing about how girls in the 80s and 90s used to be fucking rad. Like, there was a difference to them. Like, they looked different from each other. They had personality, and you could talk to girls, and it was fun. Now they're all this cookie-cutter fucking alien-looking same girl. Like, all of them. I have close friends. I have one that I've talked about off mic that I thought was beautiful when we went to high school and college together. And she's done this shit to her face, and like it doesn't look like her anymore.
We've reached and I say this jokingly, but pretty serious actually. We've entered the singularity.
Yeah, I mean,
where
we're on our way.
I feel deeply that, like, okay, I love the 80s because it was hodgepodge, mismatched. You could wear stripes and checkers and
Fucking
neon
right.
colors. I actually saw a photo that compared a parking lot full of 80s cars and specifically colors to a modern day parking lot.
Dude, let's pause that and start talking because I got some shit to say.
Well, we can. I mean,
I've been told.
we got.
You want to keep going?
Yeah.
Because I got some shit to say about this.
I think we hash this out.
All right.
And then do nuggets. And
Do
then,
it. Hash it.
So I saw a picture of cars in the 80s compared to in a parking lot compared to modern day cars.
Mm-hmm.
The cars in the 80s were crazy, different, beautiful colors.
Yeah.
And now all the colors are washed
Every
out.
car looks the fucking same.
Washed out in the same. I feel, and just shooting from the hip, that with social media and phones, cell phones, that we have reached that the singularity point, that everything's available so fast and trendy that you're not uniquely styled anymore, guessing about neon colors and stripes and crimped hair and shit. Because you went with what you believed was going to be cool at that moment. Now we're being force fed, and even subconsciously, that's oozing out into this cookie cutter chick that you're talking about.
You went with the people in your high school, what they were doing because somebody saw some shit in New York and thought it was cool, and then it becomes a game of telephone where you're going down these fashion roads, and in the 80s, that led you to fucking bright colors. And
interesting
baggy
you
shit.
said telephone. So think about that literally applied. If you played the grapevine game and word traveled from New York to my hometown of Wichita, Kansas, that signal got fucking muddled up
100
the entire way.
That's why I said telephone.
And that's
yeah.
when beautiful, gorgeous, crazy uniqueness popped out. Now the game of telephone is exact and immediate
Yes.
for where the signal originates to
everybody in the entire
end user,
country
and
is doing
that
the
means
same thing.
and everything's washed out and
Yes.
fucking boring.
But God, there is just something like, I don't know, their personalities and their faces, and I'm sure this is the same for dudes as well. But like, there was an edge. It was different. Like, you'd learn something from people. Now it feels just like this plastic fucking lame shit. What I was thinking on the way here is, I think it'd be fun to have a place that does like 80, like you walk in and you're literally doing like 80s aerobics.
Yeah.
But I know aerobics didn't really work. Like,
With Jane Fonda on a VHS.
like
cassette.
I'm talking where you went in the room and it's like dudes and chicks and you're doing like the lame ass fucking aerobics.
All of those
that
things they
were
used to wear at the bottom of there, like all those socks and
doing. Sock warmers or
Sock-
leg warmers, is what
leg
they were
warmers.
called, leg warmers.
Oh man, I totally
and
missed the
knickerbocker
80s, man.
pants that was
Dude,
like 3/4.
This shit was so fucking rad,
Yeah.
though, man. Like, I watch all these old clips of Miami Vice and shit, and he looked ridiculous, but he looked cool.
Yeah.
I've been watching hours of old like MTV with commercials,
Okay.
and fucking Bobby Brown runs out, and I'm like, he looks ridiculous, but he looks fucking cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was personality. It was saying something about yourself. It was not everything is the fucking same and just bleh.
I can't remember. I watched a documentary. I can't remember what it was. Whoever, it had to have been a musician. They were identifying what cool is. And I also think this can dovetail into art, that the real definition of cool is when you do something immediately that you feel without worrying about the repercussions of judgment. And that applies to hair
I know where you're
color,
going right now.
style, and art. Like putting out music is not catering to, actually this goes even super deep. Instead of catering to the masses,
I'm going fucking deep
and,
here too.
and
I
trying to
warned
make and trying to make money, you're putting out art that you like, that makes you happy, and that's some of the uniqueness missing in modern society. I actually heard a deal that was interesting, that the modern day application of Satan worship is latching on to pop like pop culture musicians, because they aren't putting out art because they like it. They're putting out art to attract the masses, and that makes them false idols.
Yikes. You just took away all my shit, because that's, to my ears right now, I can say nothing else other than that. It's fucking ridiculous.
I mean, I do think that there's truth in the music that I'm attracted to.
Dude,
in this application.
To compare it to fucking Satan, to compare pop stars to Satan worship is not a path that is worth us going down.
I don't want to go down it. I'm saying
Jesus Christ.
the false idol part.
No, they're not. All they're doing is fucking business, the same that everybody else is doing. And there's a bunch of idiots out there that are willing to buy their fucking music, so they're selling it. It's not Satan. It's not the Antichrist.
I'm not saying
the same as fucking railroad companies, as fucking oil companies, as AI companies, as any company that will do whatever the fuck it takes to turn a profit.
I'm not saying that it's direct Satan worship. I'm saying there's a correlation between somebody that puts out art to appease the masses and somebody that puts out art because the art makes them happy.
There was a fucking middle-aged man saying the same exact shit when the fucking Beatles were on the Ed Sullivan Show.
Yeah.
Like, so are you telling me the Beatles were putting out things to be false idols?
In my perspective, no. I don't think that they were trying to rake in
I had a
dough.
really great point, and this whole fucking Satan worship Taylor Swift thing just fucking took me completely off of it. God damn it.
It's gone.
It is fucking gone forever, man.
Let
into
it
the
just
ether.
let it go.
Ugh.
All
Shit.
right.
All right.
Yeah,
Nuggets?
let's do some mother licking Funkler Nuggets.
I mean, me and PR have a Funkler Nugget.
This sounds fun. I don't think there's ever really been a one before.
Okay, like one where we didn't purposefully go. We just happened to be at the same place at the same time.
I love it.
So it's called Osteria
Esta. Osteria Esta.
Osteria Esta. Esther. It's owned by the Reyes people and the Sparrow people.
So it's new?
It's new. It used to be SoCo. It's the location that used to be SoCo on the corner of Central and Summerlin, Thornton Park. And I know what you're talking about. I loved SoCo. It was great. But it's gone, and now it's this place. It's an Italian place. I love that ownership. Those places are great. Reyes I love Sparrow.
They're just trying to get
I love Sado.
one of every type of
food.
Of cuisine.
I mean, they got Osprey, which is seafood. They've got Reyes, which is Mexican. They've got Sparrow, which is like a hip fucking tapas, I guess. You've got
Sado sushi,
and now you've got Osteria Esta, which is Italian.
What's next? What's left?
I know.
French,
Thai, Ethiopian.
Yeah.
You know. So I went there with Linda and a couple of friends. I had the veal parm. I got lucky. The server who was there was a server at Superica, and she recognized me and Linda because of how often we go there.
Nice.
So we got excellent A+ service from her. Bread was fantastic. I had, because it was her and she remembered me, I actually did my tequila old fashions with Ocho. Fantastic. And
tequila at a Italian restaurant.
I know, tequila old fashioned. Well, and I knew we were going to Aku Aku after, which we did. So I was like, I need to stay away from bourbon because I'm going to be drinking. And if I have 2 bourbons, I'm fucking done. So I was like, I'll do tequila. Drinks were fantastic. Atmosphere was great. Service was good. That ownership group is just fantastic. So my experience was very good. As I was walking out, you know, I've been drinking and shit. We're partying. We're walking to Aku Aku. And I get a call from my main man, PR here, who's like, you just walked past me. So I turned around, and there he was. So tell us about your experience.
Well,
Pierre.
I was screaming out your name, and Yeg said to me, will you be quiet? What are you doing? I said, there's my guy Nick there. He just walked past. She said, stop screaming. Everyone's looking at you. You know what happens sometimes when you're in a restaurant, you see somebody, you want to try and attract their attention, and you forget. You're in a fucking restaurant.
Yeah.
And here I am screaming down the sidewalk. Anyways, that was her embarrassing moment for Friday, but it was a great evening. So we went to a Louis Armstrong and Frank Sinatra kind of evening at the Jazz Room at the Abbey.
Very cool.
What a beautiful evening. So I booked these tickets. The Jazz Room is my first time going into the Abbey.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to book it well in advance. I would have thought not, but yeah. So I booked it like 2 months in advance. We got great seats right up front. It was 7 to 8 o'clock. So I liked the idea. It was very quick in and out, right? It wasn't like a whole night out. But what's nice is that there's a bar, a fully operational bar. During the show, you can get up and walk to the back and, you know, order your drinks. So that evening, the 1 hour we were there was fantastic. They said the parking was horrible and that we could never find parking, but, you know, I manifested.
You manifested.
I got a great parking. So Yeg said to me, so we were going to come out to DBA. That was my plan after that was to drive to DBA.
Yeah, I think you had told me that at the hop.
Or the Strand. That was and Yeg said to me, you got such great parking, just don't leave it. Let's just walk. Let's just find a place like right in the area. So we went down the road and so Osteria and I said, hey, you know what? So we've been following that because of the Sparrow thing. And so when I say we, the producer and I, so I said, well, let's go. Osteria's right here. Let's go there. And so the funny thing is, and Yeggs and I are still kind of talking about that. When we went to check in, we didn't make reservations. So we did a Trevor on it. We walked in.
Love it.
And said, you know, do you have a table for 2? And she said, it's going to be an hour. I'm like, fuck, an hour? This was like at about 10 minutes after 8 o'clock on a Friday night. Should be an hour. And I was like, okay, what about the bar? She said, well, it's going to be about 30 minutes. And I was like, okay, we'll wait. And then I stepped back a little because there were more people coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And then once it was clear again, I went up to her and I said, listen, whilst I'm waiting, can I order a drink whilst we're waiting? And she said, yeah, sure, whatever. And I said, well, then, I ordered myself a glass of red wine and this sparkling water. And then we were standing out. Now there was that area became very full. There must have been about 10 or 15 people around that area. There was the entrance area. And then for some reason, this lady, I thought she was being a little bit funny with us when we kind of checked in, like an hour and then for the bar 30 minutes. I was like, what the fuck? Anyways, but I was pleasant, I had my mask on. And then she comes up to us and she says, you know what? I think I'm going to seat you. Do you are you okay sitting at the patio? I said, yeah, patio's fine, because it was a pleasant evening.
Yeah,
anyway.
it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
It wasn't crazy hot. So, and then we sat her there, and then Yex was like, what happened? Because she'd gone to the restroom. So I said, I don't know. I have no idea. When she came to give us the drinks, I was nice to her. I chatted to her a little bit. And then 5 minutes later, whilst a whole lot of people were waiting, she set us. And so we waited all of 5 minutes. Let's put it that way.
That place does have that cool, we give you a drink while you're waiting. Like our reservation was 7:30 for 4, and Linda and I were 10 minutes early. And she was like, yeah, it'll be a little bit before we can seat you. But if you want to order a drink, I go, well, can we go to the bar? They're like, bar's reserved also. Yeah. But she goes, if you want a drink.
Yeah.
I go, fucking right, I want a drink. Yeah. I was like, and we sat in the chair, and right at 7:30, they came and grabbed us. It was great.
So we still can't
I like
work
that.
out.
Places should have that.
Yeah, we couldn't work out. There was like a 180-degree change we felt with her attitude. But anyways, we sat down. We ordered. So, at my age, at my dainty old age, I typically don't have bread. But we hadn't eaten, and it was now probably 20 past 8, 8:30 in the evening. I was absolutely famished. I needed to eat something.
Did you get the focaccia?
So I got the focaccia.
Yeah, the circle focaccia.
Oh my goodness me.
Right? Yeah.
It is. It's got garlic, rosemary, and sea salt. It was outstanding.
It was really good.
Absolutely outstanding. So that was the focaccia was my starter. And then I had the chicken marsala with like chunks of mushroom. It was exceptional. Probably the best chicken marsala I've had.
I was thinking about that. I fucking love chicken marsala. But I had seen the picture on the menu of the veal parmesan. I was like, I got to get that. It looks so fucking good.
And then we finished off with the tiramisu. And when Yegs and I were back on our way home, she was saying, we got to bring our boys. So whenever we go to a really good, we want to share it with somebody.
Yeah.
We want to who can we take to this thing? And we want to go back because it was a great evening.
Nice. You tag teamed a restaurant.
I know.
We were sitting in the same place at the same time, and actually it was strange but you were in the restaurant. It was slammed. It was busy. It was very busy.
Yeah, it was slammed.
Great evening anyway.
So the only thing I did off the beaten path was check in with my bodybuilding coach, and I went and met him for the first time throughout this process at his gym, Superior Metabolic Performance. It's out in Oviedo ish.
Okay.
So about 30-minute drive out of my typical way, but well worth going and visiting. He's been running the spot for quite some time, as long as I've known him. And it's a cool...
Does he look like a bodybuilder as well?
Yeah.
So he's
undeniably.
Okay.
And the gym is in...
It's a good question.
No, the reason why I say that is sometimes you're a coach and you've lost it.
This guy.
Or like fucking in Rocky, like his
Yeah.
It's like this old man, a little tiny old man shaking.
Jack is his name. Really nice guy. Very interesting dude. Energy level is top notch, and he's just blunt and excited. So it's refreshing to go interact with him. The gym's cool, old school warehouse gym.
Smells of sweat.
Old weights. Not the new Planet Fitness.
So the Rocky Gym.
Bullshit. It's
Yeah.
it's a legitimate it's a legitimate gym with there's quotes all over the walls, famous quotes.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
There's that Wayne Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott. Yeah.
It was a cool drop in, and it was nice, man. I went at 5:30 in the morning. Sun wasn't up. Had a good check in, and so he runs. I think you can join the gym. I'm not very sure, but I think most of it is typically signing up with him and doing a routine and schedule that he's designating for you and getting people from point A to point B really quickly that are serious.
So you signed up with him 4 months ago.
Yeah.
First time you ever met him?
No.
Like in person?
I used to do his beard here.
Okay.
I used to cut his beard is how I know about him. He is sponsored by a group called 5% Nutrition, I believe. A old bodybuilder started it way back. It's a supplement line, and I kind of the idea of 5% is body fat, but I also read a quote about being in the 5%. It's an attitude. It's a lifestyle and decision making choices. So yeah, it was cool to walk around and see the old school stuff and check in with him. And I got down to my skivvies and did some posing in a mirror, and it was the first time I was being truly critiqued. So that was interesting. But yeah, superior metabolic performance was my fun spot for the week.
Oviedo
You got
people.
2 weeks to go, right?
2 weeks out, baby.
There
A
you
little
go.
bit less, counting down.
Love
Ready
it.
to go.
All right.
All right. Hey, thanks everybody for listening. Special thanks to the Wizard of Ed. Please hit like and subscribe. Leave comments, questions, and requests. Connect with us on social media for adventures throughout the week. See you in the promised land. Go fast, don't die.